At my job, there was this girl that I work with that I don't really get to see a whole lot. She's in a different department than me. I've seen her only a handful of times, and I've talked to her like once or twice, and it was very, very brief. Today is Sunday, so backtrack to last week. I got on my phone, I looked at my work schedule, then I saw her schedule as well, and she was working 3 days where I was able during my shifts, so where I'd have a chance to possibly talk to her. And so I was looking forward to it. I was like, okay, finally I can now actually make a connection. I can actually talk to her. And so Monday, I have a perfect opportunity to talk to her. It's just me and her and nobody else. Guess what I did? I said shit. I didn't say anything to her. And then she leaves, and I'm like literally banging my head against the wall like, you fucking idiot. Because I was like, oh my gosh, I'm such a dumbass, which is true. And so I try to put myself up. I'm like, okay,
next time you see her, you got this, bro.
And I don't see her for the rest of the day. And then Tuesday, I don't see her again. You know, she is working. She's just working in her department, not necessarily needing to come to my department. So I don't see her Tuesday. Or if I did, it's from a distance, and I'm not able, like, the far end. I'm not able to see her unless I, like, yell out to her. I'm like, hey, come here. I want to talk to you. No. So Tuesday, I don't see her at all. Wednesday, I see her cross me maybe like once or twice. And that's it. And so, was I disappointed that I wasn't able to talk to her? Or that I wasn't able to really see her for 2 days? Yes. But that's still not an excuse for the perfect scenario that I had with her on Monday. Why I didn't talk to her, I will tell you why. Because she came out to where I was doing something, and I started to overthink. And so what was going on through my mind when I was overthinking? I was self-conscious about my appearance. So I'm a skinnier guy. I weigh about 138. It kind of fluctuates from there. 20 years old, 138. And I'm pretty skinny. And I was just kind of insecure about me, my body. And then the work shirts that we have, they were always very baggy on the sleeves. So, you know, not showing off my arms in a good way. That's one thing I was insecure about. And then the second thing was I didn't know what to say at all. I am not a very good conversationalist. And ask anybody. I have no friends. Ask anybody. I'm pretty bad at talking. And then talking to girls, it's another whole different ballpark. And so I had no idea what to say. So I just kind of stood there all awkwardly, per usual. And yeah, she did her shit. She left. Started banging my head against the wall. So those are 2 things that I was insecure about. So what I was thinking of when she came out, I was like,
oh, does my outfit look good? Does my work shirt look good? Oh, my arms, the sleeves a little bit too baggy, and she's gonna think I'm weak, but I actually am kind of weak, so that's kind of okay. But then, but she doesn't want a weak man. She wants a strong man, a man that can be able to fuck her really hard. And this man's skinny, probably as skinny as me, and that's not gonna be cool. What if I stumble and mumble, I don't say anything correctly, or I'm not able to form a coherent sentence, I'm not able to think properly, I say something very weird or off-putting or something very awkward, or it's just very dry conversation. She's gonna go back to her department and tell her friends about how such of a weird guy I am, and then the whole department will know about me, and then that department's all filled with girls, and then those girls are gonna tell the other girls in the other department, and they're all gonna look at me like I'm weird.
That is what I needed to do. I needed to breathe and just do it. Despite my appearance, despite my conversational skills, I just needed to shut off my brain and do it. So after that, I got home, and actually no, it was during my lunch break. I started to write down on a sticky note that we had at work what happened through my mind when she came. And so I'll put it on screen so that y'all can see. It's a very simplistic way of me breaking down why we overthink. So overthinking is the result of something, and what that something is, I'm going to tell you about. So we're going to kind of work our way backwards. So yeah, because overthinking is the result, and so we're going to build our way up to why, to the result of something, what that something is. Why are you overthinking? What is the cause of you overthinking? It is simply the fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown is something that everybody is afraid of. I believe it was H.P. Lovecraft who said that we have fear of the unknown. I don't remember the exact quote, but something like that. He was a horror book novelist. We fear the unknown. So in this scenario, it was me fearing what the interaction was going to be like. If I was going to make a good impression, if I was going to make a bad impression. Like I said, if I was going to speak well, if I wasn't, if I didn't, then was she going to tell people? Was she that type of girl? And what would they think? You know, it's a downward spiral of all these what ifs, because we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. And so it's a fear of the unknown. And then it could be for anything. So it's like, if you're going to ask your boss for a raise, but you don't know how they're going to react. So you start overthinking, will they treat me differently after this? Will they give me the raise? Will they not? And will they kind of like get mad at me? Will other coworkers get mad at me? It's just a whole shit ton of thoughts that happen. Fear of the unknown. That is why you are overthinking. Why do we have fear of the unknown? We have a fear of the unknown because we lack the confidence to handle the unknown. We don't have the confidence in ourselves to handle the unexpected, the unknown. And then that obviously is just a product of us having no confidence in ourselves. And that is ultimately why we overthink, in my opinion. It's because we have no confidence in ourselves. Let's build our way in a normal direction. So we have no confidence in ourselves. That is the start. When we have no confidence in ourselves, we don't have the confidence in ourselves to do anything. So whether that be making a meal, or playing basketball, talking to girls, passing a test. It's just all these different things that we don't have the confidence in ourselves to do. And so we don't have confidence in ourselves. We don't have the confidence in ourselves to do anything. And that is partially handling the unknown. Then we have a fear of the unknown, and then we start to overthink. And that's where I was yesterday. Because if you had confidence in yourself, then you wouldn't be stressing out about the uncontrollable. So in this instance with the girl, if I went up and talked to her like I was supposed to, and even if I did mess up, let's just say if I did, because nobody's perfect. So if I did mess up while talking to her, then if I had enough confidence and self-respect for myself, I wouldn't give a shit about what her coworkers say, or if she's gonna go tell her coworkers. If she does, I can't control that. I can't tell her to don't tell anybody about this. That's kind of weird. And yeah, I can't tell her about that. I can't tell her what to do. So that is ultimately up to her, not me. The only thing I have control over is myself and what I do. That is the only thing I have control over. It's myself. And if I can only focus on myself and have the confidence in myself, then everything else becomes arbitrary. I can't control over that. I can't control what other people do, what other people think. So why am I stressing out about it? And so it makes a lot of sense to not overthink, but when you're in the situation, that feels like the only thing that you can do. And I get it. Like I said, I just did it. I have a very simple way of overcoming overthinking, to think in simple terms. Let me give you a scenario that represents what I just went through. So what I just went through was, there was this girl, I liked her, wanted to talk to her, but I didn't because I started to overthink. Fair enough. If you go back to caveman times, and I am a caveman, and let's just say, I don't know, I'm out and about taking a piss or something, and there's this girl that I see, and I'm like, oh, she lives in beyond those rocks, I think, in other department. And I'm like, I like her. I see her body, and I like her. So, what would a caveman do in that instance? What would the most simplest person do in that instance? They would go up to her and say, "Hi, my name's Matthew. What's your name?" And that's it. That's all they would do. They would not overthink and just do what they want to do. If I am attracted to a woman, like I'm supposed to be, I am supposed to breed with her eventually. So if I'm attracted to someone, just go up and freaking talk to them. It doesn't matter what I say. It just matters that I do it. And the thing is, I do know her name. She knows mine. So I couldn't just say, I'm Matthew. But I could have just said anything else. I could have been like, are y'all busy today? Just anything. It doesn't even have to be smooth right now. It's just because I'm not the best. Like I said, I'm not the best person at talking. So all I need to do right now is just get in the habit of talking to people, both boys and girls. So that's my piece of advice. Just think in very simplistic terms. So if you want something, go and do it. I checked my schedule again this week, and I believe I have 3 days again where I'm able to talk to her. And so this week, I'm going to get it done, and I will give you guys an update. Next time you're about to overthink, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and do the thing that you want to. See ya.